now I'm joined by David. Another all-timers for you. Tell me what this experience is like every year.
Oh, it's amazing because you get a chance to see guys you haven't seen in a long time, and it connects the generations from the 50s. We have Whitey Herzog's wife here. Whitey Ford's wife here, and then, of course, the 70s guys from Willie and all the great 70s Yankees, and then the 90s Yankees with Bernie and Tino. So it really feels good to connect the dots to those generations.
And of course, you're always here. It's not like many of the guys that haven't come in many years, and when they come back, just feel the ambience and all the good old days.
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, we don't get a chance to see each other that much because everybody in baseball, they go to wherever they're from. Everybody lives all over the world now, in Latin America, all over America, everywhere. So we don't get a chance to see them. Graham Lloyd lives in Australia, so I don't get a chance to see him, and these are the only times we can catch up.
And of course, it's a little bit different this year. You guys are not going to play. Are you going to miss that? You're going to miss the playing time?
The games were pretty special, yeah, it is. I mean, we'll see how it goes forward from here. This year's a little trickier, I guess, because of what's going on in the world, but nonetheless, it's still good to be here.
And of course, a couple of guys missing. We don't have Paul O'Neill here, and many of the guys didn't come, because of that, what's going on in the world. But what would you tell the fans? What is this like? The fans get the chance to also see everybody here.
Yeah, no, it's what it's about, because when you're a part of the Yankees family, then you know that you have a responsibility to pass it on. So each generation, whether it's a grandfather or a grandmother, passes it on to their grandkids, and the fathers and sons and mothers and daughters. So that's the point about this whole thing, is that a father can tell his son, hey, that was so-and-so, and this is what happened. And that's how the tradition gets passed on.
And of course, I have to ask you, this year's Yankees, Aaron Judge is doing amazing, and the team as a whole, they got a new addition with Andrew Benintendi. How do you see the team? How excited are you?
It's great. Aaron Judge is having a historic year. We're talking about Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris in 1961, and is he going to hit 61 home runs, and records are falling. So yeah, it's something special when you go to watch the games now, that you see it in action, that something historical is happening in front of us, and that makes it so much more exciting.
Anything funny or curious that you remember about, I know you've been to a couple, so which year was your favorite? I don't know, anyone you got to meet that made an impact? We had Jogi for many years.
Yeah. The best days were back when we could talk with Hank Bauer and Moose Skowron and those guys, and ask them about what it was like to play in the 50s, and ask them about the Copacabana. What happened at the Copacabana that night? And they would just laugh, and they would tell us stories, and they were so good to talk to those guys. Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, those guys, to be able to say that I met them and actually get a chance to talk to them in a real conversation is the most memorable part of all these days.
Well, thank you very much for your time, David.